Jason Blackwell, Houston, a thought experiment when a special dividend is announced for next bridge. Is that game over? Shorts, moneymakers, prime brokers must come up with the payment in lieu, or can those entities sue each other to not pay? That would be interesting because while there have been instances where there's been crypto dividends and whatnot sent out on traded stocks, that stock can squeeze and they can do things that way to avoid liability. It can cost a lot of money. But a stock that doesn't trade, what would happen? Like, let's say NextBridge offers a T0 dividend, right? Some crypto dividend, non-fungible. They issue 165 million of them. Plop. Send them out. It's going to be just like the current NextBridge shares in that they can't actually distribute to anybody. So how are you going to close? How are you going to deliver that thing you're required to? I don't think there's an answer for it right now. Other than, you make the crypto dividend tradable. So you put it on an exchange and it trades, and that crypto dividend itself gets worth like a cajillion billion trillion dollars. But, right, there'll be some people who get it and others who don't. So how do you make sure those folks get the money? Because, like, let's say you're one of the ones who gets the coin. You're like, sweet, I got this coin. I'm going to put it on this exchange and I'm going to sell it to some hedge fund for a gajillion dollars. And someone who didn't get the coin gets the coin, but by the end, they're stopped trading it, so you don't get to sell your coin for a cajillion dollars. I don't know how they would rectify that, honestly. I just don't have a clue. The solution is for FINRA to just open up trading for 2 more days, close out the shorts, and be done with it. That's where we are. Don sees a shade in my motor mouth tonight. There you go. All right. Hain Train, what are your thoughts on up and coming metamaterial with the price dive? I mean, metamaterial kicked ass. Oh shit, I can't be talking about metamaterial. Sorry. I can't talk about metamaterial. I can talk about MMTLP NextBridge all day long, but I can't talk about metamaterial. Can't talk about metamaterial. Sorry, Hain Train. I can't talk about it. Otherwise, I get an angry email from my brother telling me to shut up. So, no metamaterial. No matter how many super chats you send, I can't talk about it. 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 I can't talk about it. So there. All right, you're gonna go up there. I'm gonna move these headphones out of the way. Put them on the microscope. There we go. All right, then you're gonna move the camera with your head, aren't you? I can tell. Oh, there it goes. Yep. Get shot your good side. Yep. Just rub that camera. Rub it. Rub that camera. Show how pixelated it is. There we go. All right. Nope. You're going to do it again, aren't you? Yep. There we go. All right, Cat. Just finish up. Finish up rubbing on the camera. We're waiting for you. You done? You getting one more? One more in you? Yeah, it's gonna rub on the camera a little more. Let's just put this back on the monkey butt. There we go. Man, nope. Nope. We're just gonna rubby dub dub, aren't we? Okay, well. We have two Houston cameras. Deck P, you have 2 more days of trading. What about the DRS shares? You should be able to sell out of DRS. AST does have an ability that you can sell out of them, just like any other registered system. I think the brokers are looking to get as many people out of their system as possible, so that they got less people they got to deal with under their weird QSIPs they have. So if trading does happen, they're like, okay, I got rid of like 1 million of them, so I'm down to like 5 million or whatever. So that's could be what they're thinking. All right, you done? Can we put it back on monkey butt? Nope. Nope, we can't. We can't just put it back on monkey butt, can we? No. But that's what I'm thinking. Hain Train, if Acme had a parent, or pushing the issue. Well, Acme Parent Company. If there was a company called Acme Parent Company out there that perhaps did really, 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 really well at CES, and everyone was excited for all their cool inventions and stuff, and they were signing all sorts of deals with manufacturers for things like, you know, uh, car manufacturers for windscreens, for antennas on phones, for microwaves, for uh, putting security devices into global currency, things like that. I'd be pretty stoked, especially if they had perhaps bought up a whole bunch of the competitors and collected a few thousand patents and are one of those technologies of the future. I'd be pretty stoked about them and see pretty much anything. Anytime the price on their stock dove, I'd be like, huh, that seems like a screaming deal. I've got $30 in my pocket. I can buy 30 more of these suckers. Why? Because they're projected to be a $10 billion plus a year company in the next 4 years. So that tells me probably a wise long-term investment. But if there was a company that was called Acme Parent Company out there that had those things going for it, but that's all speculation and hypothetical. That's where we are, Hain Train. Okay. Ideas matter. Houston. Wes Christian was talking about MMTLP in his video. The latest is that there is a motherload of torch shorts. How might that affect how we will be able to sell when the U3 halt is lifted? Well, there is no more U3 halt, right? Because the company has gone private. Therefore, FINRA no longer has to worry its pretty little head about any of our shares because FINRA only deals with traded shares. They don't deal with untraded shares. That's going to be their next argument to court, I bet, is that they're like, it's a private company. We don't deal with private companies. We only deal with companies that trade on exchanges. And then Rosa is going to have to argue, well, you do owe us 2 more days of trading. So why don't you do 2 more days of trading and then issue a corporate action that says you must close all the shorts brokerages. Make sure every short share no longer exists at the end of these 2 days. And then FINRA can be done, right? So we see those 2 more days of trading. And my guess is there's hundreds of millions, if not billions, of these counterfeit shares that exist. And so if there's those 2 more days of trading, it will be the catalyst for MOAS because those shares will sell in the thousands of dollars each because we don't have to sell, but they have to buy. So they got to make it really, really, really enticing for the hundreds of millions or billions of shares that exist to go, all right, you convinced me. I'll sell at 3:59 p.m. East Coast time on day 2 or X number kajillions of dollars a share. There may be a settlement that's forced. Who knows? Maybe the government goes, all right, take it or leave it, $1,000 a share, final offer. And we go, all right, cool. Well, that's more than I get as a dividend. But even if that's the case, it's $1,000 a share and there's a billion shares, that's $1 trillion. That's $1 trillion in liability on one stock that represents 10,000 other tickers that have been treated exactly the same way. Right? At that point, we're looking at $10 quadrillion in liability. 10,000 times a trillion, 10 quadrillion. So that means, the random lawnmower manufacturer, the random failing sports drink company, the random little small community telecom, the software company that went bankrupt 15 years ago. Like, there are thousands upon thousands upon thousands of these that will all need to be closed at some point. And if that $1 trillion settlement or whatever happens with, ideally, oh, thank you, with metamaterial would happen, it would bankrupt every single solitary hedge fund that did something like that, and probably bankrupt the prime brokers, banks, investment banks, etc. on top of that, which would mean the U.S. government would have to print money, which is what they're trying desperately not to do. They're like, oh, can I stop printing money? I just need inflation to go down. But then they go, oh my gosh, you hedge funds have ruined us. But really, it wasn't the hedge funds that ruined us. It was the regulations, the weak regulations that were made, and the crappy enforcement by the regulators that resulted in this. So you guys did it to yourselves. You did it to yourself. Every single one of you. SEC did it to yourself. FINRA did it to yourself. DTC did it to yourself. You guys could have made it so the system didn't work this way, but you all went, put on your blinders and went, okay, let's destroy some American companies. Let's make some quick bucks for the worst people ever. And you did it. Congratulations. You set up $600 trillion in derivatives liabilities. And here we are. That's what you get.